Bam, we back. I'm excited for this one.
I am too.
Got Mr. Drew with us. In case you missed the last one, entrepreneur, ultra marathon runner.
Back again.
Back.
Yeah.
Back. First guest having on twice. That's exciting.
Let's go.
God, I had something to talk about, but I forgot already.
No, that happens.
We're on episode, 17 now?
That's what it was. I knew I was missing something starting off. Yeah, 17 already. Shit's going good. How's the pod for you? I know we briefly talked about it, but we'll talk about it again.
It's good. We've missed one episode. We'll miss another one tomorrow. But
yeah.
shit happens. So it's been fun though, talking about entrepreneurship and training.
Yeah, because you guys do like a lot of like basically like scheduled out stuff, which is cool to watch. And then with like length of videos, I see sometimes like 30, 45 minutes and some like an hour and a half. Is it just basically like what you guys have built out is what you touch all that and go from there?
We started off with a plan in like the first few videos that we had, where we actually had something on the computer where we'd follow and like ask questions, and then we moved more towards just like we had an idea for the podcast and we talk about it. Now we're back to like the scheduled out, just so it doesn't get like too off topic, because ours is very specific to like. That's
another thing. Like if you don't want to talk too much off topic to then shortcome yourself next week.
Yeah.
You know.
Part of the issue we ran into is like we didn't have. We knew what we wanted to talk about, but we'd miss shit if we didn't like plan it out. So like we'd go like off of what we thought about, and then we'd miss something, and then it wasn't in there. So it's like.
Yeah, it'd be like, you want to talk about something about the run, then forget, and like next week remember it, be like, damn, because you can go back, but it's not the same, you know?
Like, you just completely forget about it, and like, oh, dude, that would have been so good to talk about on the pod.
Exactly.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. But I mean, we have some that are like an hour and a half, just because we do have a lot to talk about. Like I think my race recap from the first one was like an hour and a half. And then our last one, we just talked about like setbacks in training and like what my brother dealt with his injury and stuff like that. We got it done in like 35 minutes. So.
How's editing and stuff like that going?
A lot easier now.
A lot easier, yeah.
Yeah, we only use one camera, so we do what you guys do.
You film with an iPhone or?
We film with his camera.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Is it in increments or can you do the whole time?
The whole thing. Yeah, because we talked before the first episode that we had ever done.
Or HD?
HD, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But the first time we filmed, it only filmed for 20 minutes, and I was like, oh, it does the same thing that theirs does.
Right.
But then he figured it out. I don't know. I think he was switched from 4K to HD maybe. I don't know what we did, but now it films for like, it filmed for an hour and a half.
What kind of camera is it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not the tech guy. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not either. I can sit here and.
Well, one day when YouTube starts paying us, we'll upgrade.
Yeah.
And
shit, hey, y'all already got the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's
sick.
That thing's worth more than the house, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking.
I had to take out a mortgage for that one.
Yeah, it's a car payment. We've had an issue with whether it's like a cord plug-in or something like that with one of the aux plugins for the headsets wasn't working properly, so I don't know.
Mine tweaked last time I unplugged it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, this is something with the port there. But
Yeah, it's for the audio to the headphones. So like, it's like one of them. I think it was the cord, because it sounds better now because we got a new cord for it. But
might be. I mean, it's either like you blame the $800 setup or $700 setup, or you blame the $35 headphones. So it's like probably the headphones.
Yeah,
more likely.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I mean, we can jump right into race day.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was training? Because you got a different coach this time around, right? Mm-hmm. So how was training with the coach? Oh, well, I guess we'll just start there.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last time. Because that was.
You were done with the first race. Now training with your new coach this time, right?
Yeah, I think I was like 2 or 3 weeks out from the race. Whenever we had the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how's I guess final 3 weeks leading up to it.
I think I talked about that on the last podcast. Is I had a coach for my first race, and then I didn't get a coach for my second one, and realized fast that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So I hired another coach 2 months out of my race,
Yep.
And we started working together. I got a lot better. Didn't miss a workout. I think I missed one workout because I was sick.
Yep.
And then, yeah, I mean, the last 3 weeks was good. Like, I felt confident. I only got up to 56 miles, but that's just like I didn't have enough time of training with this coach to actually get more miles than 56. So.
And that's within a week, 56 miles within a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So got up to 56 miles, and then that was actually, it might have been the same week or the week after I did the podcast with you guys. I did my 56, and then the last 2 weeks was my deload weeks. So I came down to like 44, and then I did 21 the week of, I think. But so then
you do like a peak week 2 weeks prior, then the run, then a deload week. Okay. Then that would be the week after.
Do you think that's what probably like held you back the most, was not having a coach that the entire time?
100%.
How big does that affect you, having a coach? Well, especially starting out, because you're going at this time going into your second ultramarathon. How does coach affect starting out? Is it like tremendously different, or?
It's tremendously different. Yeah. I mean, I had a plan. Like I followed an app for my training, like the amount of miles I needed to.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same. I mean, you don't have someone like holding you accountable. I mean, you probably know from experience with like a bodybuilding coach.
Yeah.
Like you don't have someone, you could write your own plan, but like you don't know as much as they do. And
it's that experience. You know? It's just like almost like parenting. Like if you learn from your parents to then jump the mistakes they made to hopefully you get further than what they were, basically. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you always have someone to talk to as well. So like if you deal with like an injury or like something's holding you back like that week, like they can fix something for the next week, or they can just rewrite your training for that week and help you out and figure out what you need to do to fix it and move forward. But
that's huge.
That's a big thing. And I mean, he knows more than an app does on like training. So I did get a lot faster in those 2 months than like I had with training beforehand.
Yeah, because you can't really text an app like, hey, my right quad's hurting me at like mile 20. Like you know.
Yeah. Or like this run felt like shit. Like, what do I do?
Right. Like, am I supposed to push through it? Or
I lost another toenail. Like,
how do I patch it up?
I don't got many left.
And you said he's out of Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is it with a coach not ever like seeing him face to face? Like, do you guys FaceTime or just basically text, phone call, or
text?
Text, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How is it? I guess texting a coach, can you still like build the trust without really seeing him very much?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was like I guess there's a worry with like hiring a random coach from a place that you don't know.
Correct. Yeah.
But I mean, whenever you scroll through his Instagram, like dude has a good following.
Yeah.
You see posts that he's made from other runners that he's coached, and all of his runners get like first, second place in like their races. Like dude's qualified, and himself too. Like you like seeing the people that you're taking advice from do what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like he's ran ultras, he's done high rocks. Like this dude's slow pace is like a 6:40. So I mean, it's like, he's fast.
Imagine being that slow, dude.
I don't have to.
Yeah, dude's fast.
No, that's insane. How old's the guy? Like,
I don't know.
Is he like
upper 20s maybe?
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say like 40s. I was a bit like,
no.
Dude's fast. So I mean, that's good for him for having that great resume.
Dude's about to he's about to run the world championship for the 50K. So
nice.
He's insane. Yeah. But
yeah, that's pretty sweet. Lost my train of thought again.
Race day.
Yeah, what's it like prepping going into like the night before prepping, anything like that? Like organize like food, clothes, shoes, all that fun stuff. Sleeping.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's definitely hard the day before because you have a lot to like get prepared for. Like with your nutrition at each aid station, you got to figure out all that. So I separated nutrition into baggies for each aid station. So whenever I came through at each 20 miles, they refilled my bag with everything I needed. They took out everything else. And then I was good for the next 20 miles, but you have to figure that out the night before and put it in separate baggies so that you have everything you need for the whole day. And you plan that out. And then I planned out like a pace chart, like when I'd be at each aid station, like roundabout, obviously, because you can't nail that on the dot.
Right.
But they had an idea of whenever I was coming into each aid station. and then you figure out like clothes, like if I'm gonna change like this many times, how many times I'm gonna change my socks, like what I need to put on my feet.
You shit yourself?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you gotta keep the dude wipes on deck. But I learned a lot from the first race to the second race. Obviously, you guys knew about the blisters on my feet and stuff like that. So I wrapped my toes individually the morning of, so that my toenails were good. And then I put this anti-chafing ointment all over my feet so I didn't get blisters.
Yep.
Did help. So learned that. Clothing, I wore like actual like running shorts that were like tight so I didn't chafe.
Yeah.
That helped a ton. And then like what you wear on top, like it's a little bit cold in the morning, so I had like a quarter zip, like actual like running quarter zip.
Yep.
Because the first race, if you go back and look at pictures or videos, dude, I was just like athletic shorts and a t-shirt, like a stacked t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like it's not the
man.
same. Yeah.
Free balling it.
Yeah,
like,
not
yellow.
the same.
Represent, man.
Yeah, chafing like a motherfucker. I had blisters all over my feet.
But I mean, that's the whole point of doing it again, is you learn a little bit.
Yeah.
And I noticed that too. Like when the morning of or the night before going to show day, like it's kind of stressful because you gotta like your meal prepping, or I was for sure that like you gotta.
Yeah, I did too.
Basically meal prep right for like a day and a half. You're not supposed to be stressed because your body's like, you know, you're about to go do something your body's really not made to do. So you're trying to keep your stress low. Yet you're trying to pack meals for, 5 meals for the next 2 days. So it's like, and then you got to bring extra food or extra clothes, and this, it definitely gets stressful. But yeah, that's
You kind of gotta just be fine with not getting as much sleep.
Yeah.
The day before, like it's kind of just a given. Like you're not gonna get great sleep. I got better sleep than I did the first time. The first time I got like 2.5 hours of sleep, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Before I ran.
Were you guys nervous this time, or what was like?
I wasn't as nervous. I was just like, damn, I got to run 100 miles tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like it was more like that. But I got, I think, 6 hours of sleep this time.
Yeah,
So it was a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 hours isn't bad.
Because you probably remember back to what your emotions were last time, and then you know
was
what
a lot of nerves.
Yeah, then you know what to expect. And you try to like control that or capitalize on that of like, this is what's going to happen. This is how I should approach it. Were you as nervous because you did was the Rocky Raccoon? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And that was down in Texas, correct? Was the temperature there ever an issue, or like what was the thought behind that? Because at night it definitely got colder during the day.
It was a little bit chilly in the morning, but I mean, whenever you get running, like it's on the temperature in the morning and at night was perfect for running.
Yep.
Because a little bit cold, but whenever you start running and you get a little bit of sweat going, like it's perfect.
Yep.
During the day though, whenever I was running, like it wasn't that hot. It was like 70, but you feel it like low key. Like it kind of just takes the energy out of you.
Yeah.
The sun coming down on you. And just slowly cooking you.
You can you can feel the heat.
Yeah.
And it definitely wears on your body.
And they do races, obviously year round. So like, would you ever entertain a race in like the middle of summer?
I'm going to.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that like because you're already
My
scheduled.
next race.
I was about to say you're already scheduled out for your next race, ain't you?
Yeah.
And where's that?
That's in Austin, Texas.
So you're going back down to Texas.
Yeah. And that's in the middle of not the middle of the summer, but it's at the end of May, which is, I mean, it's going to be super hot.
Yeah, it's already cooked by then, dude.
They already have it planned out for the race because they're expecting it to be like over 100 to have like ice trucks.
Dude, you're
like,
crazy.
So you're actually
so they can cool people
Dude,
down.
I'll be on the beach when you're down there running. So I'm going to, while you're running, what dates are you going down?
The race is on May 24th.
I think I leave out like May 25th. I was gonna send you a picture of the beach.
That'd be
while you're
sick.
running. That'd be nice.
I'll have my phone.
Yeah. Like, hey, bro, like.
I might still be running, brother. You never
Probably,
know.
honestly, there's a good chance. Probably when you're about to go through hell, I'm gonna be toes in the
on
sand.
the beach.
Yeah.
Big bro.
Go ahead, send me a picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Big bro.
Just two opposite sides of the spectrum.
Right.
It's like complete hell and then
Bro,
like
this
paradise on the other
right
side.
now, dude. No, that's
Now that'll keep the spirits high.
yeah.
Like, bro, just think you're on a beach, bro.
Like, bro, I ran on the beach just for you, man. I don't want you to. That's
I'm about to put in like half a mile for you, brother.
Yeah.
Got you.
But yeah, to come back. So, like, how many people did you bring? And what I'm trying to do, like, after this first segment, then we'll start with like the starting of the race. But like, how many people did you bring down there? Was like your parents come with you, or just your brother, or?
I had my girlfriend, my brother, and his girlfriend. So I had
gotcha.
3 people other than myself.
Yep.
Which that's one of the biggest parts. I think I talked about that last time about like doing a race like this is having people there with you, because they take care of everything. I mean, my brother was the video guy, so that's how we got that video out.
Yep.
He videoed
That's
everything.
a good video too.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, you guys did well there. Did you have a pacer come with you this time, or no? Or
Nah, that was tough. My brother and my girlfriend were supposed to be my pacers.
yeah.
My brother hurt his Achilles like not too long before my race, so he couldn't pace me. And then my girlfriend hurt her hip, so she couldn't pace me either.
Damn.
Dang.
Which my brother still did put in 10 miles with me
Yeah.
Yeah.
from
towards-
70 to 80. But
Yeah. You should low key. Did anybody ever run those things with a dog?
never seen it.
That'd be probably pretty stressful for a dog to run.
Yeah,
100
that'd be
miles.
rough.
Yeah. No pun intended.
That is just the anatomy of dogs. They're not made for it.
Yeah, but neither are humans. so you
No,
probably-
it's 4-legged animals. It's because their lungs are underneath them, and it's just not good.
They probably need a good amount of nutrition too, huh?
Oh yeah.
That too.
I mean, like you take like Kyle, they could run like 30 miles in a day.
In a day,
Yeah.
you're talking about triple
But what's
that.
another
and
70?
it's the reason they're always panting.
A lot of miles. That's a lot of miles.
I know, I get it. I'm just trying to.
That's the
argue.
reason they're always panting, though. Ugh.
No,
It's
it's because
'cause-
they can't sweat.
No.
Yes.
No.
I
Dogs
think
pant
he's
to cool
right.
down.
Okay, that might be
Pretty
part
sure
of
he's
it,
right, bro.
but like
No, that's the exact.
it's the
reason.
anatomy of the gravity
No,
on their
no.
lungs.
You
and
were
it
on
being
the right
underneath
track, but that's not.
It-
that's not
They're
it.
just not made for endurance. Like,
No, they're 100% made for endurance.
no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. They're
Yes.
built for speed.
Bro, we got a computer right here.
Just look up
What do you want me to look up?
why aren't 4-legged animals not meant to run long distances?
You're gonna find the answer you're looking for. So you got to make it.
It has to do
Neither
with the
side.
anatomy of like where their lungs are located.
I feel like Peyton knows what he's talking about too.
I'm not arguing with them.
He sounds kind of smart here.
Or dogs.
Sometimes I am. you know?
Whenever you put in the word like anatomy and stuff, it kind of
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
That's
You
why I
feel
like
like
using
big
big
words.
words.
yeah.
That's not fair. I got my schooling in Michigan. That's not fair.
Dude, I got mine in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's probably from your cousin. So not built for long distance like humans.
Like human, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the breathing.
The breathing.
It's
I
because they
don't-
can't sweat. You know
Okay.
what? We can both. Be
I might.
right here.
Yeah, we could be both right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said I wasn't going to disagree about that part.
That's why I'm not gonna disagree about the.
You know what?
Like,
Let's just say we're probably both right,
I'd agree.
and then when neither one of us are wrong.
yeah.
I'm gonna say
Just
you're
don't
both
fact
wrong.
check this. But if
Yeah.
you do, leave a comment. We need more comments on our videos.
I'll comment.
All right.
Appreciate
I
that.
commented on yours. I don't know
I
if
seen
you said
it.
You did?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The guy.
Good guy. Well, that derailed absolutely everything we were.
No, it happens.
I had like a checklist that was going through my head.
Oh, really?
Talk about the
Did you
people,
write it
the
down?
people I brought with me.
Yeah.
The people
Yeah.
that brought with you, Pacers.
Did you drive or fly down there?
I drove myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that rough
That was
on
terrible.
you?
I'll never do that again. Yeah, I drove
Yeah, you
for like
crazy?
13 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you drive back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but you were down there for a week.
The drive back was worse.
Yeah, I believe it.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to
Bobby
go-
was like, "What are you doing?"
We can
here?"
talk about that later on, but I had to.
We can
I
end the
had to go to
comment
urgent
there.
care.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
God damn it! You got to stay out of that thing, dude.
I know.
You gotta stay out of that.
Why can't you just do a normal
I
marathon?
don't know, bro.
The same nurse was like, "You running down the marathon?" Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Kept coming with me. I'll take care of you.
I sound crazy too, because every time I go in there, I'm like, yeah, I just ran 100 miles.
You know, you don't have to do that, right? They're like,
Nah.
we'll take a little break. Be
Yeah,
right back.
come back.
So they were touching me between this episode.
What?
Okay.
Yo,
Dude, don't act
No.
like you didn't like it.
Come
No,
on now.
what's that watch you said?
It was mainly Drew, though.
that's a Garmin
Yeah.
4Runner.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what my
265.
brother has.
If I have a running watch on my wrist,
It's not a running watch. Military men wear this.
Military men?
Yeah.
What about the women? Huh?
Sorry.
Yeah. Check yourself
Whoa,
out.
how many genders are there?
Let me be
Let's see.
Define a woman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Let me be inclusive here.
Yeah.
That's my bad, guys.
You're fucked up, bud.
You're done.
Whoa.
You're done.
Canceled.
You thought you were having a podcast? No, you're
Go
not.
ahead, hit the siren. We got it, boys.
Local business owner canceled on podcast.
We can just stop recording now.
We got him.
We're not going to put this out there anyway, so. Race day. Let's get back on track here. What are the vibes like stepping like? Because you're starting at like 6 in the morning, is that right? Or what time are you starting in the morning? 6.
Mm-hmm.
What's the vibes like? What are the feeling like? Because it's still dark out.
It's always the same.
Yeah.
It's always like eerie, quiet. Everyone's like, you can tell there's nerves. Like no one's talking.
Yeah.
They have music playing, but for some reason, there's always at like these races, there's always like a generator going, and you always hear that noise. Like it's like that.
Yeah.
And like you just hear that, and it's quiet.
Yeah.
And like it's just like eerie because it's still dark outside, and like
You ever get scared something's chasing you in the woods?
at night, yeah.
Yeah, because like, dude, when you go deer hunting, dude, and you go out to the stand, no matter the age, bro, you're like, dude, there's a fucking monster right there.
Yeah.
And like you'll be walking out of the stand, it'll be pitch black out, you hear a stick break like 20 yards behind you. You get a little scared.
In my first race, I thought, or I didn't think there was coyotes out there, and they were like howling and shit, and I got terrified.
Yeah.
Really?
I had to start sprinting. Yeah,
It's a good thing I wasn't part of your pit crew.
Yeah, dude, I was terrified.
I'd been out there playing like Injured Rabbit. On YouTube.
Trying to catch
You
him.
like draw him in.
Trying to catch him.
But like if Drew runs fast enough, he'll win this thing.
My brother went coyote hunting and shot 2 coyotes with bow and arrow one night.
Really?
Yeah, he shot one.
2 with 1.
No.
Come on.
He
That'd
didn't
be
shish
impressive.
kebab him. That'd be impressive. But no, like, to get like 30, 40 yards away from a coyote and be able to shoot one with a bow, and then he put another arrow in. I think he missed his second shot, then put another arrow in and hit a second one with his third arrow. That's impressive because coyotes are very, very smart. Anyway, it's a cool story. So that's where I had.
They scare me, even though I mean they don't really like humans.
Yeah, I'm in a pack of them. Will get can be a little dangerous if you're outnumbered. I mean, they're definitely like a huge pack hunter, like wolves. They're a pack hunter. They can be scary, make you run faster. That's for sure.
I'm dropping them,
Yeah.
left and right hook.
That's probably the biggest animal 1v1 that I think I could confidently kill, but gonna take a lot of damage.
100%.
Yeah, gonna be damage dealt, but
Probably get some rabies.
you know, you have it once. It's like
Honestly,
it's the same thing every time.
I think the 100 miles is going to do more damage.
Dude, actually, fun fact with rabies, there was like one case where they cured someone of rabies. Basically, what happens is like the disease is in your body moving so quick that your body can't catch up to it to then kill the disease. So like you put someone in a coma, and it's either like you basically kill them or you slow them, like their heartbeat down so fast where
You can slow it down enough.
the disease will slow down quick enough for your body to overtake it and catch up to it. So
What about a cold plunge? Would that work?
don't think so.
Dang.
Bro, he was onto something, yeah.
No, the fuck he wasn't.
Dude,
I kind of think he was onto something.
freeze the body, get it cold enough, the blood moves slower.
We should do a cold plunge
heart rate
before we go to the
slows.
gym.
We should get rabies.
You want to?
And no,
We can.
Dude, I'm terrified. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get butt naked. I don't got an extra pair of underwear.
We got you.
You see, you'll hold my hand.
Yeah, we do it naked every morning.
Look, it's in the garage now. We
Yeah, we did.
we upgraded.
There we go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Cold plunge is lit. Your testosterone goes up if you do cold plunge beforehand.
Need that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's good for you with all the running you do. Good for inflammation. And
The recovery would be
soreness.
amazing
Yeah.
with cold plunge.
I need that.
You should ask your coach about that. He'd probably recommend it. Cold plunge is huge.
I've been trying to talk him into getting one,
It's worth the money, 100%.
or like even put one in stacked.
That'd be.
You could charge like $5 a pop, and it'll pay for itself in like a couple weeks.
That's a lot of. If like it's a liability type of thing. Like I like Fuel did theirs, and I don't think they're doing too great with theirs.
Really?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Josh specifically about it, but it's just like I feel like changing out the water, because like you can't let
would
the
you
water
have to change it out every time?
No, but like I don't know, but I don't think you like us.
Okay.
It's just us two using it. We let it sit for like 3 weeks and then change it because it doesn't get dirty. But like, I feel like you can't, if you're having the public come in, you can't really let water sit that long. So,
I mean, if you treat it like a pool, it'd be the only way you do it.
yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to run chemicals in it. But,
Yeah.
I know there's some that filter themselves.
or like this one does, it filters itself too. But I'm just thinking like,
I don't think it's enough to like kill diseases. Like if somebody,
Or like trust
like
that people
had
are actually like
rabies and
showering
they got in
beforehand.
there.
if somebody had some kind of
Stanky ass feet.
transferable disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lawsuit. Never mind.
See, not all ideas are good ideas.
Okay, but there's potential. There's potential.
There's potential. It's been done
Dude,
before.
I also told him about my other idea. Somebody steals it, throw me a check or something, some royalties or something.
Steals what?
A vending machine with like protein powders and like pre-workouts in it.
Like
at gyms.
scoops or like little individual packets?
Like individual packets.
Ooh.
So like instead of buying a whole $30 to $50 jar of pre-workout or protein, you can just get one from the vending machine.
Why'd you go this big?
Because protein gets that big.
Yeah, you said pre-workout.
I said pre-workout or protein. It's in the tape. You can go back and watch it.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's there.
But the idea is there.
That's actually not a bad idea.
In gyms, like you could sell just the vending machine to put in gyms.
You know who we need to sponsor is like Bucked Up.
Yeah.
Or First Form. Shout out them. Drinks are amazing.
Yeah.
So.
1P.
But I think if Stack got behind it and then it just says Stacked on the side, then they could get all kinds of different brands in there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Because if you only did it for just Bucked Up, it would just be Bucked Up flavors.
Yeah.
But the whole point of it is to try the
Like have a
samples for like
storefront.
$3, even though it's $1 worth of
Huh.
powder.
It's a good idea.
I like this.
Yeah. Yeah. There's potential. We need to start writing this shit down.
I know. Somebody's gonna steal my idea.
It's okay. Same thing with the wet bet.
Yeah.
The betting, yeah. We talked about making an app for betting over under on like the weather.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'd be a good for
Sick.
gambling
Yeah,
addicts.
like how many inches of snow were we supposed to get?
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Do it.
I mean, there's potential. There's potential. So cutting back to race day. So race starting. How was the track set up? Down there at the Rocky Raccoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any raccoons?
No.
I love raccoons, dude. It's like my second favorite animal. Anyway, keep going. Sorry. How was the track set up at Rocky Raccoon?
It was a 20-mile loop, and it was all in the woods. So you go from the first aid station, 4.1 miles to the second, and then you go 2.5 miles out around like this little thing. It's like a timer chip thing.
Yeah.
And then 2.5 miles to the next aid station. So that's the not from the start to the next aid station, but the next aid station.
Okay.
And then to the last aid station, and then back to the start. So there's four aid stations.
So the first race you ever ran, was that like a continuous 100-mile loop, or was that like loops?
It was
Well,
loops,
yeah.
yeah. It was a figure 8 loop, but it was 33 miles. So you did
ran
it three times.
Yeah. So do you like running like continuous? Like, is there any tracks where it is just one consistent 100-mile?
Or I don't know about one big loop, but I know there's some that are start to end. Like
Is it 100 miles?
there's a lot of like mountain races that are like that,
Oh, that'd be hard.
where you start at one point and you just go to the next.
Would you want to try something like that?
I think it'd be fun.
I feel like
Depends
that
what it
would
is.
be like mentally easier knowing that you're like going to the finish line.
Yeah.
Because I
instead of
mean, I would think that it gotta be hard. Like
doing
on
the
like
same loop.
second loop. Like damn, dude, I still have 2 more of these to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, oh, there's
Yeah.
that tree. I'm only halfway done with this loop.
yeah. Well, what's the terrain like? There's it hills, rocks.
It was decently flat. I mean, there's still some hills,
Yeah.
like more than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
But the routes were terrible. I think I talked about the routes beforehand, but
Yep.
they were terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not what you think either. Because before I went, I was like, oh, you're gonna see like these big roots come across, like you
Right,
can step over
right.
them and
It's
like
not-
get out of the way.
It's not like that.
Dude, there's like pine needles covering
Yeah.
the trail,
Right,
so you can't
right.
see them.
They just sneak up
Ooh.
on you.
And then there's some
Grabbing
roots that
toes.
aren't even like all the way across. There's some roots that are just like they just stick up like
Yeah.
this, and then they're covered by pine needles.
Yeah.
So your foot just hits it, and then I fell like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and like you think, oh, like dumbass, you're falling over roots, like just step over them. But like mile 60, you're not really, especially in the dark, you're not really looking.
Nah, yeah, you're not looking
You're
at
just
roots.
like, I hope this next step I ain't tripping. You know. type
Yeah,
shit.
I tripped going downhill one time, and I just I
Ooh.
rolled with it.
Ooh.
But
Didn't I watched you guys' video? Didn't your brother trip too?
yeah,
Yeah.
he busted ass.
Yeah.
And the kid that I was running with, he also ate shit. He was running like right beside me, and he hit one, and he started falling, and I saw him. He like fell into the bushes, like on the side, and it was the funniest thing ever. I didn't laugh in the moment because I wanted to make sure he was good, but he got up, and I started dying laughing.
Yeah.
No, I would have laughed.
That reminds me of this joke. If you're ever walking next to your girl and you ever ask her like, you know who George is?
No.
You know, so like when you're walking next to a bush, you're like, hey, you know who George is? And they're like, no, George Bush, and you shove them into the bush.
I've never heard
seen
that.
those?
No.
It's always her. And like the girl will just like disappear in the bush, and the guy just supposed to. Suri tried doing that to me, that bastard.
Another topic too. Whenever I moved down here, I followed the WKU like page.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a thing to jump in bushes here?
I didn't go to college.
I didn't either.
Probably.
I saw a couple
no.
videos on there, people just like jumping in a bush.
I think it's like
For no
it was
reason.
like a trendy.
Yeah, I think that was just like internet trend thing because I seen
Like,
some
what
shit
is
on the
going
internet.
on?
And well, and it's Kentucky too. I mean, it's
Yeah, there's
You know.
odd stuff going on every day.
yeah. When you look at your cousins as a lover, jumping in a bush ain't that bad. So.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's actually way higher on the pedestal. Things you could do.
So and then when you started the race, you ended up matching, or I guess running with somebody pretty much the entirety
The whole
of.
time.
Yeah, how important was that? Like,
That helped a ton because I didn't have a pacer. So just having someone to run with the whole time and talk to
right.
made it go by a lot faster. Like there's not as much time on the trail where like you're just thinking by yourself.
Yeah.
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 There's
yeah,
more-
distraction. Yeah.
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 And I mean, there were times where like neither of us talked and like we just ran because like we were struggling, but
Well, you're suffering with somebody. I think that's like huge. Like when you're ever training with something, or like when you're on prep or for a show, if you can do it with somebody, like you're like, you don't want to be the one to quit. So you gotta, keep pushing with them. That's
yeah, I think what was also cool about this race too, the first race I did, only 27 people started it, and it was a 33-mile loop. So like after the first 10 miles, like I didn't see really anyone like the rest of the race
yeah.
because we were all spread out.
Yep.
This
Yep.
time 472 people started.
Damn.
So
Wow.
you talked to somebody
The whole
constantly.
time. Yeah. Yeah.
You were constantly passing people, and it was a 20-mile loop. So
Right.
whenever
right.
the 100K started, there was people running and
Yeah.
all that different type of stuff. So
Damn.
there was always people out there to talk to.
That's nice.
Next
Made it a lot
race
easier.
you go to, you're gonna try to have someone with you either running or pacing you.
So this next race is, since it's a last man standing race, there's no pacers, but it's a 4.2 mile loop.
Just over and over.
Yeah. So
So like the aid station, basically where you start.
yeah, this
Gotcha.
one's cool. So it starts and you have an hour to complete 4.2 miles. So say I run the 4.2 miles in 45 minutes. I have 15 minutes until the next hour restarts. So like you can't.
So you have like a coach timing you basically, or do you? Time
They have a timer like at the race.
Oh.
Yeah, and you're not like, say I finish in 42 minutes, I can't just get started on the next loop and like get it done faster. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
You
round
can't.
base.
You like
You get eliminated.
it doesn't matter when you get the 4.2 done. Like you have to wait
Until your hour. And
until
then you
the
go
hour
again.
and then you go again. So like it keeps everybody at the same pace, like
So
the
it's
whole time.
Really like pacing yourself legitly on a different level.
Yeah, and if you don't get back before the hour,
You're
you're out.
disqualified.
or if you give up, you're out, obviously.
So can you run over 100 miles, or is it just 100
Oh
miles?
no, it's last man standing.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, it's yeah.
What's like the record? How many times have they done it?
This race specifically, this is the first
the
time.
last man standing. That's the first
They
time
have
they've done
other
that?
last man standing races. I know. I
Is
went
it like
and,
the same setup, the 4.2
Yeah.
miles. Okay.
The reason, so the dude or BPN is putting it on. That's the company that my girlfriend works for.
Okay.
But it's also the company that Nick Bear owns.
Yeah. Shout
So-
out Nick Bear.
Yeah, dude, the guy. He ran a last man standing race, and that's why he's doing this. That's why he wanted to set this up, because he's done one before. So it's laid out the exact same way, like 4.2 miles. And I went back and looked at like the results whenever he ran it. And the first place was 154 or something like that, 150.
Wow.
So what's your goal? Is it 100 miles? or
150.
Your goal is 150?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, dude.
It was 200 before I did this last race.
Your goal is 200 miles?
Before this last race. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
But
You were definitely dropped as a kid.
That's good. That's good. That's positive.
It's like literally like that is insane.
I was thinking 200 because I was like, all right, if I have 3.5, 4 months to train for it, like I can put in enough miles to potentially get 200. But after doing this last race, like I was on pace to do 22, 23 hours in this last one at Rocky Raccoon, but I only got 75 miles before like it went to shit.
Right.
So in my head, I'm like, all right, like if I want to do 150, I have to do nearly the same pace for 75 more miles if I want to get to 150.
Yeah, but you get to break more often, essentially, with the 4.1 loop.
Depends how fast you run it. Because
Yeah.
I could, if I wanted to, I could run for 58 minutes and have 2 minutes
Yeah.
Right.
to grab
right.
what I need and go right back out. Or I could run it in 45 minutes and get back in and have 15 minutes until my
Is
next
15
loop.
minutes a lot to rest?
Yeah,
when you're
15 is a
doing it?
lot.
Is it a lot? Okay.
I feel
Yeah,
like that's
but-
not good for you.
At the
'Cause would you
beginning,
get,
I don't
like,
know if it's
stiff?
that bad, but later on, it'll catch up with you.
Yeah, but so like even 80 miles in, 15 minutes is still a lot. Like you're not, because you're not really ever trying to catch your breath. It's more like letting your body rest for a second, eating, drinking, whatever, and then get back to it so you don't tighten up too much. Is
It's
that-
more, just about just getting your nutrition. So like eating enough and like drinking
Yeah.
enough. But I realize like whenever I get to mile like 60, if I sit down, like it's very hard to get going again.
Yeah.
Like my body's almost fucked if I wait for too long.
Because like no matter what you do, you're gonna be going through hell no matter what kind of pace.
Yeah.
So it's like what you said, not.
Yeah, because
Stop.
at miles, what was it, 40 at Rocky Raccoon, I told them like I wasn't gonna sit down again, and I didn't
Correct,
sit
yeah.
down until mile 80. And I
You
sat
sit
down at
down
mile
after
80.
the
When I
first
got
one.
back up at mile 80,
Different story.
I could barely walk.
Yeah.
So like your strategy would look like running like 50 to like 55 for the first like
I'll probably try to hold
10 rounds.
50,
So then,
55
like,
the
on
whole time.
When you're on like 40-ish miles, you can sit down, eat, and then
Yeah, I mean,
do like the least amount of damage by running a little bit
Pause
slower.
that. We got 30 seconds left.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll be right
Dang.
back. Right back.
All right, back
What was
to
the
the
question?
third segment.
My bad. What'd
No,
you just
no,
ask
Dude, I
me?
lost track of what we were.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
the
how'd you
strategy
qualify?
behind it.
No, how'd you qualify to
Oh,
get?
that?
Yeah,
In the Bear Ranch? Yeah.
yeah. Well, so context: Nick Bear, big runner guy. So he's only allowing 3 people to come with the runner.
Yeah.
How'd you qualify to get in, or is there unlimited people that can get in?
Yeah. You're only allowed 3 people with you. I don't think we didn't put that in there. You just said
Yeah,
that, but
yeah, 3
yeah, you're only allowed 3 people per runner.
In this upcoming race, not the Rocky
Yeah.
record.
Did I just do something here? Oh no, I clicked a button. I don't know what it did, but
You good?
Good.
no, they announced it like 2 or 3 months ago
Yep.
that they were having this race because he just bought this ranch for their like BPN team, like where they're gonna put a gym out there and a barn for like their team to go out there and like lift, and like they have like their like team meetings or like different stuff like that, or if they go out there and hang out. But they announced this last man standing race, and it was 125 entries, and it was a lottery. So you put in your name, like you like put in to get in, and then they randomly choose 125 people, and 2,500 people signed up for the race, and I got lucky enough. My name got chosen, so I'm one of 125.
Holy shit!
And
Yeah,
then
you got to train your ass off of that because that's an opportunity right there.
That's huge. Yeah,
That's crazy.
You'll probably meet him too, I'm sure.
yeah. Well, what's cool about that race too is obviously they're gonna video the whole thing too. So
there's gonna be some publicity behind that one.
If I do good, I mean,
Yeah,
God,
that's gotta be
dude,
exciting.
Stack's gonna have to come out with some running gear so he can rep that.
that's what I'm saying.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
But they have a VIP list too, so that's not a part of the 125. But so I don't know. You know Chad Wright?
Nope.
He's a ex Navy SEAL, and he's an ultra runner, and he's gonna go run it. He's insane. He's done a last man standing race, and if you ever want to watch some cool shit, that's another cool video. His last man standing race was a 1 mile loop, but it had like so much elevation on this 1 mile, so they had to finish it in 20 minutes. Theirs was 20 minutes instead of an hour for 1 mile. And it had so much elevation that over the course of 100 miles, it was like going up Mount Everest and coming back down, like that much elevation. And he won, obviously. He did 150 miles. So it was essentially like going up Mount Everest, going back down, and then going back up.
Damn. Going down would almost be as hard as going up after a while, isn't it?
Yeah, because it beats your quads.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like
insane.
that might be worse.
But 150 miles of like that, like technical.
Oh my God.
And now we're about to run 4.2 miles on a pretty flat course. Buddies.
What's that pace? You said you want to run 55 minutes in the 4 point. What's that pace like?
Well, so you have an hour to complete the 4.2 miles.
Right.
After 24 hours, it's 100 miles. So after.
No, I'm saying like in the how many
45?
miles, like how many minutes per mile is that pace of 50 minutes? Is that like what?
It's like
15,
50 minutes?
It's like 10.
No, it's like 13.
10 minutes a mile.
Something like that.
13 minutes a mile.
Yeah.
To do
You're gonna be-
4.2 and 45?
It's gonna be like 12 and change, I think.
In 55 minutes.
Mhm.
Oh, and 55. Okay,
Yeah,
I was thinking
yeah.
45. My bad.
Yeah, no, yeah, okay. Which that's like starting off. That's got to be pretty easy pace to keep, but you're planning for essentially 150 miles down the road. You want to be able to hold that pace. I gotcha.
Wow. Dude,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy. Do you get anything if you win? Just street
Publicity.
cred?
Street cred. I like that. Yeah, that's what you get.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you get
Bragging
You
rights.
get a attaboy.
Attaboy slap on the
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
that'd be
leg
sick.
massage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I'm excited for
that'd
that
be
one.
sick if you won though.
It'd be crazy.
Oh, it'd be wild.
Is that like the average though for like the person that wins is like about 150 miles?
There's
And
only
most of
there's
them?
only two last man standing races that I know of.
Okay.
And it's that 1 mile one and that 150. To me, like I thought about it, and some people from BPN had some like estimates of how long they thought it was gonna go, and they thought a lot of people from BPN figured it'd go over 60 hours, which there's no way, because I looked up the Moab 240. That's a race. It's a 240-mile race.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that won that race, so the fastest time ever to run that race specifically, 240 miles, was 55 hours. Damn. So if you do 60 hours, it's 250 something miles. So essentially, it'd be like running the fastest time for the Moab if they thought it was going to go for 60 hours. And I'm like, there's no way. They're not.
Wow.
You don't have that qualified of a runner going out there. So my thought, I think it's going to go, it'll go 48 hours or less. I think Chad Wright could do 200 if somebody pushed him fast enough.
Oh, that's not right.
What are you trying to do?
45 hours, that's the math.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just did.
For what? For 150 miles?
No, I just did the math of like the pace he's talking about for 200 miles. At the pace he's talking about is 45 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, 45.
And that's
like
what their team was estimating?
They were guessing it's going to go over 60, but there's no way. I think if someone pushes, because Chad Wright's elite at running these, so I think if someone pushes him far enough, he'll go to 200, which is 48 hours.
He's one of those dudes, like, I ain't gonna stop.
He's insane.
Yeah.
He talks shit while he's running too, which it's funny. It's so
You
funny.
fucking pussy.
Dude, you gotta talk shit to him.
I want to. It'd be funny. But I know in the video that they made for him, they made it like a documentary of the last man standing race that he did, the 1 mile one. And this is like an instance where he was talking shit. He was in the back, like running with the people in the back. And he was like, I like running in the back. I like to know what it's like running with the quitters. It's like, that's crazy.
It's devious.
You gonna wear like a GoPro or anything?
I might. They said no media crew, so I don't know if that means like you can't video or.
Probably because they're gonna have you pay for video there.
It's probably because they got their own media crew.
Yeah,
They
but
don't
you
want to
gotta
get in the
pay for
way.
They don't
of
want
their
everybody
video
like
crew.
videoing and.
There's a good chance you got to pay for it. Like just like at my show, you had to pay to have a camera there.
No, they just don't want everybody else filming a documentary.
I
Is
get
what I'm
that,
thinking.
but I think there's gonna have to be some compensation to get the.
But that was
videos.
just for photos. I think photos is fine.
I think the reason they won't do it is because Nick Bear has built his like brand off of videoing races.
Yeah.
So all of his followers do the same thing.
Yeah.
well,
So if he allowed it, 125 people would probably bring their
At least
media
125
crew.
cameramen following
Yeah.
them.
And then there's
Yeah,
like
that would just
100
be
people out
insane.
there videoing, and that's just way too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Not the
Could be.
photos for you to take home. I think that'd be fine.
I still think there's gonna be some sort of compensation to get the media. Because you think about it, I mean, let's just say essentially 2 days of straight filming. I don't know if that's gonna be essentially free.
Yeah, they could make money off that too.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be some sort of.
If like because I mean, whenever they film stuff like that, they probably do get like way more video than they actually need,
Right.
Oh yeah,
and they have
Like-
it of like different people and stuff like that. So
they'll probably interview y'all.
that'd be dope.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably going to be so much photography. I mean, you got 48 hours of just filming if someone runs 48 hours, and then you got all that editing. There's going to be some payment for them. Could be wrong. Some payment for it, I would assume, to get that whatever they filmed. That only makes sense.
You should definitely see if you can get a GoPro though.
Maybe dope. If I could wear a
Yeah.
GoPro out there.
I'd DM Nick Bear, be like, what's up, homie?
Yo, bro, I know we close and shit, but like,
I know, like, type shit, but, like, can I wear that GoPro? Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I'm
gonna be exciting.
geeked.
I'm just trying to talk shit and get it on camera.
Now, are you more excited for training so you're back in training now?
Yeah.
For this, and how many months out are we?
3.5.
Yeah.
So we gotta wait. So how's training now? Obviously, you're probably coming off the high of last race, so training's probably easier now. But
Not really.
No.
No, my body's still recovering.
Yeah.
So last week was my first week back, and I did. I had like 36 miles planned, and it was terrible. Like my heart rate was way worse than it usually is. Like my HRV is still recovering and everything. So I told my coach, and he gave me like a super easy week this week, and it wasn't mile based; it was time based. So like I had like 30-minute runs, 45-minute runs, different stuff like that to make it a lot easier. I'm not
Yeah,
focused on
chill
heart
runs.
rate,
Yeah.
just going easy. And I felt good this week, so I think we're gonna pick it back up next week. But this time, my goal is since I do want to run 150 miles, like I told him that I wanted to plan for 200. I'll probably put in some pretty big weeks.
Yeah. Like, is the mindset going in this knowing that there's such a limited opportunity that you're about to acquire upon? Like, is your mindset different?
Yeah, because there's like an unknown to it. Like you don't know how many miles. Like you could run.
There is no finish line.
There is no finish line yet.
Right,
So
right.
like you want to plan for as big as possible. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to plan for what it would be like to train for a 200-mile race
and make the most out of the opportunity that you're given.
Yeah.
Because that's, yeah.
And just see what I can work with. So we're probably looking at upwards of like 80, 90-mile weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot, right? 80, 90 miles. And
It's
you're
like
running-
two a days constantly.
Yeah, for 7 days because you're not taking a day off. Is that?
Probably.
And you're staying with the same coach too, correct?
Mhm.
Is this a long-term coach you're thinking about staying with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While I'm
yeah.
doing these races,
Good,
for sure.
Good chemistry between you two. That's huge. Having trust in your coach.
Yeah, the longer you work with them, the better they are.
They know your body and
Yeah.
stuff. They know what to expect. Yeah. Yeah. Now, your coach probably only takes on so many clients that he can properly handle. Is that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how many he has, but I think he does well with it.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. Typically, I would say coaching, depending on the severity of what kind of coaching they're doing, I would say would take on. Depends on what kind of coach. Are they trying to make as much money, or are they trying to, obviously make money, but see how far their athletes can get? They'd probably only coach as many as they can properly coach.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. I mean, you don't see like C-Bum's coach like taking on everybody he can get his hands on.
And this coach is pretty cheap too.
Yeah. You think that's because he's younger and kind of starting out? Not really,
Yeah.
but
I think I don't know if he's been coaching for like too
a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like $100 a month, which is not. I
That's
mean,
not bad.
there's,
I mean,
there's
basically-
coaches that are
I mean, that's
a couple grand a month.
Yeah, essentially what I did for a year-long coaching with bodybuilding. And it's like weekly check-ins and everything like that. But then, yeah, I mean, even bodybuilding, sometimes it's like $400 a month. I'm like, ain't no fucking way. And then with the bodybuilding side of it, some coaches that don't even have their pro card will charge $400 a month. And they're not even a pro yet. And I'm like, no, there ain't no way. There ain't no way.
Scam artist.
Yeah, like, I mean, you can...
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be exciting though. I mean, a race like that.
No more caffeine.
Well, I know a guy that can get more.
Yeah, I do too.
He's got some good meat sticks too.
Yo,
Oh, he's got one good one.
what flavor?
Yeah, it changes, Depends on what he did that day. I mean,
How many miles you ran that week?
What flavor of the week it is.
Wait a minute.
We're not talking about the same thing, are we? We can go back to the Rocky Raccoon, I guess, and touch on that. We'll sum up most of that race. So
Recap it.
Yeah, first 20 miles. How was that?
First 20 is always easy.
How'd you feel with this one?
Smooth.
Smooth.
Yeah, it was light. The
Yeah.
first 20 miles is, I mean, you're running off like the initial nerves of starting the race.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all sets in like 5 miles in, you're just casually just running out there.
Yep.
You feel good. You get back from the first 20 miles and everything's fine.
Yep.
And then I'll move into like the second 20 miles.
Yep.
The 20 to 40 is whenever like your legs start aching a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not that bad. You're still just moving along. Get back
Yeah.
from 40, it's about the same. I mean, legs kind of hurt a little bit, but it's nothing like too crazy. And then 40 to 60, like it really, like it starts hurting.
Yep.
But what do I say? I mean, from probably like mile 30 to mile 60 or 70, it doesn't get worse. Like it just stays the same level of pain. But it's just like aching, like that feeling that you have, like if you stay up too late. I know I had it whenever I was a kid.
You're right.
Like I stayed up too late and like your legs ache.
Yeah, it's like your body hasn't recovered fully yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's
Yeah.
like that feeling that you get and like, but I was gonna mention too, from 10 to or from 0 to 20, it's fine. It's like the morning time, so it's like cool.
Yeah, sun's
The
coming
heat is when the heat hit from mile 20 to 40.
Yeah.
So that was like my first low point. I'd say like
Yeah.
my legs were kind of hurting, but I just felt the heat from the day. Like it wasn't that hot, but like your body could feel it.
Yeah, does the mindset change throughout, mile 0 to 40, or, what's the highs and lows that you noticed outside of the heat, or is that the main issue?
0 to 20, I mean, you're kind of just laughing everything off and like you're just like enjoying being out there.
Right.
And then 20 to 40 is whenever like the boredom kind of kicks in because you've been out there for you've been out there for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then from mile 20 to 40, you've been out there for 8, 9, 10 hours. And like it really starts like getting boring and like the heat, I mean, you could tell just because going from mile 20 to 40, from 40 to 60, like whenever like the sun did start going back down, like the energy change from like 20 to 40, I was like, man, like this, like it doesn't like suck. Like I don't have that thought in my head, but like I don't have like much energy and like it's harder to talk.
Do you get more tired? Because like your natural melatonin levels start to kick in when the sun goes down?
I feel best from after doing 2 races, I feel best from mile 40 to 60, which is typically when the sun's going down. Just because from mile 40 to 60, it is going down, so it starts getting cooler outside. So your body cools off a little bit, and then you get like another high from 40 to 60.
I think part of that's from your training. Because don't you train later at night too?
I do, personally.
That might be.
So it could help a ton.
Done,
You might be like kind of prepping for that.
Getting in that
moment.
That might make a good point too, because I talked to like other people, and I've told them like I feel best from 40 to 60, and they're like, dude, I feel worst from 40 to 60. So that could be it.
You might have cracked the code.
I know. Yeah, training at night is whenever I get that feeling.
I guess so. We're gonna have little notifications popping up at the bottom.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
If you made it thus far. But yeah.
But yeah, and then from...
That's a good point.
So yeah, I felt the greatest from 40 to 60 whenever the sun started going down, and my mood was super high, like that type of stuff. 60 to 70, I'll break it down like this because I only made it to 85. 60 to 70 was my best 10 miles of the day. Like I was flying.
And why do you, and we'll stick on this and then we'll come back for the last segment. Why do you think that, like, is it your body, because sometimes, like, when you get old, basically, and, like, when you're about to pass away, like, sometimes, like, the human body will spike up and almost go back to normal before hard crash. And do you think that's somewhat what happens there? Like, your body's giving its last, everything it's got, back to feeling great before it ultimately crashes afterwards? Like,
I mean, I think there's just highs and lows to it. Like, you go through, like, really good to really bad to really good to really bad. It's just up and down. Yeah. Nothing's, like...
Consistent,
yeah.
Severity probably is very dramatic with running, especially the longer you get. From the highs to lows probably get a lot more separated.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that mile 60 to 70 felt great. I was moving. And
you were at... it was dark out at the time you were... Mile 70.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can cap there, come back, talk about ending the race and driving home. Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up this segmentation. So we're going to talk about miles 70, 85, the ride home, and then we're going to go get pieced up in the gym.
Yeah.
It is currently 9:23 this fine evening.
Type shit.
Type shit. We're about to get fucking huge.
You already know.
Nobody's going to be in the gym tonight. I'm excited for that. Notice how nobody goes to the gym like Friday night, Saturday night?
Yeah, dude, it's nice at late.
They're all being bitches, getting drunk.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine being like no life in it, having to go to the gym. And
I forgot tomorrow's Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday fun day. Sundays are my favorite days. Minus this weekend, Saturday night's my favorite night. Into Sunday.
Yeah.
We do podcasting, hit the gym. Peyton and I do coffee dates.
Aw.
We vibe out on Sundays.
Low-key touch each other, but only on Sundays.
Wait, low-key touch each other's butts or low-key touch each other butt?
No, butts. B-U-T-T-S.
Okay.
Plural.
Wait a minute.
2 T's, right?
Yeah.
Butt is 2 T's, yeah.
It's 2 T's.
I know how to spell.
Sometimes.
You know. Anyway.
All right, we're sidetracked. Let's segue into what we were supposed
70 to 85.
Yeah, the 70
to 85. Let's talk to it.
Yeah.
Talk dirty.
So, 60 to 70, I'd already said best 10 miles I had all day.
Correct.
The fastest. And then I picked up, that's when my brother started pacing, mile 70.
Yep.
but it had been dark at this point. So
You sat down.
no,
Not sat down.
no, I hadn't sat down.
And how many miles?
70. This is
70
at
to
70.
80.
Yeah,
No, how many
70.
since the last time you sat down?
I hadn't sat down since mile 20.
Savage.
Wow. So 50 miles, you just haven't sat down.
Yeah,
That's great.
Because I knew after
Savage.
mile 20, if I sat down, like
You're fucked.
my legs were gonna get super tight. But yeah, this is when we picked up my brother, and he started running,
Yep.
and we moved pretty well. Like my legs kind of hurt at that point. We moved pretty well for 5 miles, and then once I hit like that 5 mile point, everything went to shit. Like my body felt like fuck. Like couldn't
We're
even
back.
explain it. Like it was hard to run at that point.
Yeah.
And like I was like kind of keeping up, but not really. They kept getting like super far ahead of me, and then like they had to stop and wait on me. And I was still like jogging, but I wasn't moving very fast. And then I kind of just looked at my brother, and I was like, dude, I gotta walk. Like I can't really run anymore. And it wasn't like me being like, I'm fucked. Like this is terrible. Like that type of shit. It was just like, dude, like I gotta walk.
Yeah.
So like I just started walking, and then I walked from 75 all the way to 80, which kind of took a while. But from that 75 to 80, like I had like the realization, like because I had started walking at that point, which it sucked in the moment. But in that 5 miles, I looked down at my watch and I was like, I'm not gonna make sub 24 hours, because if I wanted to make sub 24, I had to keep like a jogging pace.
Yeah, and your goal wasn't to finish the race. It was more to
Sub
finish the
24.
race under 24.
Yeah.
Or there's no reason. Like you weren't questioning yourself if you could finish the 100. It was more so, if I can't do it in 24 hours, I'm done.
No, not even. I was still gonna try to finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were
I was
legitimately at
fucked.
that point. Okay.
Yeah, I walked from 75 to 80, and that's when it took forever. So that's
Right.
what kind of put me out of 24.
Right.
Which there was still like a slim chance whenever I got to 80, and whenever I got to 80, that was the main aid station, and I was like obviously in a low point at this point, because I was like, fuck, I don't know if I'm gonna make sub 24. If I
Right.
wanted to make sub 24 at that point, I had to run the pace that I ran my best 10 miles at
For the next 20.
for the next 20.
Yeah.
And I knew how I felt in that moment, and I was like, dude, I have to run my best 10 miles for 20 more miles to get this. So I was like, it was almost at that point, I was like, fuck, I kind of got to let that go. Like, I'm just going to have to take some time at this aid station, like take enough time to like recoup and then get back out there so that I can at least just finish this 100 miles. And that's the point I was at. And I sat down whenever I got back to the aid station. I sat there for a little bit and kind of just like, I wish we'd have got more video at this point, and it'd have been in the video.
Yeah.
But I didn't talk, and I ate and like refilled my stuff. It was super quiet at the aid station because like I knew I wasn't gonna hit sub 24, so I was kind of upset. But then, like I think after like 10, 15 minutes, like it was like, it's whatever. I'm just gonna finish this 100 miles. So we're good again. Like we're talking, and then I'm like, all right, I just need to change. And I stood up, and like dude, it was so hard to walk. Like I could barely like, I was like shuffling, and I went to the car. And like, cause it was kind of freezing at this point too. I was
Yeah.
like freezing.
Yeah.
Cause it got cold again. It was
Cold
nighttime.
to hot to no cold.
Yeah.
Back.
And I was sweating, so like all my clothes were wet, and
Yep.
like those were like getting cold. So we went to the car, turned on the heat, and I changed clothes. And I came back out, and that part was in the video where like I had my hoodie and like I was like tying
Yeah.
it, and it was like super quiet.
Yeah, were you asking for like headphones or like the headlamp and someone handed you one? You're like, no, that's not mine.
I was kind of delusional.
Yeah.
At that
yeah,
point.
I could tell. That.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what was going on, but yeah, I got bundled up, and I started walking away, and they're like, you need your poles? And I was like, oh yeah. And I came back and grabbed the
Yeah.
poles, and then like we started walking, and like dude, it hurt so bad to walk, and like it loosened up a little bit whenever like I'd got like
Got moving.
2-3 miles in, but
Yeah.
like it was still like super painful to walk. And I made it to the next aid station, which was mile 84. And that's whenever the dude I was running with like looked at me, and he was like, like, I don't know if, like, I can make it. And then I was like, nah, we're good. Like, don't even say that. And then I was like, we need to sit down for a second. So we sat down at that aid station and, like, got some food. And we got back up and we started walking again. And it was like 1 mile further, or no, it was like 84 and a half. Like, we're going like up hills and like down and shit. And like, I am like barely moving. Like, I am like inching, like with my poles, and like every like 10 steps, like I sit my poles on the ground and like I like lean over them. And like, I'm about to like not pass out, but like I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just going like this the whole time. And we like keep walking and I'm like about to fall asleep while I'm walking. And it was miserable. And like, I look down at my watch and I'm like looking at how fast I'm moving. And I'm like, all right, if I keep walking at this speed, I got 8 to 10 more hours out here.
Right.
So I'm still going to finish before the cutoff. But I'm like, my body's where it's at.
Right.
I have 8 to 10 more hours. Like, is it worth putting my body through like 8 to 10 more hours of like this to like finish the 100 miles? And that's the point where I had to make the decision of like calling it or like just seeing it through. And for me, it didn't make sense because I'm going to go for 8 to 10 more hours. I'm going to finish the race and like cool or whatever. Like, some people may think that's like cooler.
Right.
But then you also risk with how I already was after the race. And it took me a week to 2 weeks to recover, to spending 8 to 10 more hours out there and possibly being out for 1 to 2 months. And then delaying my training for this next race, which I want to do really good at. I'm more excited for this race than I was that last race.
Yeah.
Did the guy that was running with you finish or no?
Well, so I was 84 and a half miles in. I called my girlfriend and I was like, yo, like, you guys need to pick me up. And I thought they were going to have to pick me up at the next aid station, which I was already like, fuck, this is terrible, because I was going to have to go out to the end and then go back, which was another like 3 miles. I had to walk before they picked me up, so that was going to be like, I was like, I'll see you in like 4 hours. And then I figured out, because I was still delusional at that point. If I was like thinking right, I would have figured it out. But whenever you get out to that point, it's right beside a road. And I figured that out. So whenever I got there, I was like, yo, you can just pick me up right beside this road. Like, you have my location. And that's where they picked me up. It was mile 85.
Yeah.
But at mile 85, like, he looked at me and he was like, I think I'm done. And I was like, dude, he'd been good all day, like, physically.
Yeah.
Like, his only issue, he kept shitting. Like, he couldn't like he couldn't hold food down. So like, everything he ate, like, he just kept shitting in the woods. I kind of felt bad for him because he literally, his stomach was so fucked up. But like, physically he was fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was moving well. Like, even whenever I was walking like that at that point, like, he was walking normal. Like, he'd walk up ahead and then he'd stop and wait for me to get there. And then like, he'd walk ahead and stop, wait for me to get there. I was like, dude, you can finish this race. Because this was his first 100-mile race.
Oh, wow. He was a little chunkier guy too, wasn't he? Like,
not really.
Not really. Okay.
No, he was. I mean,
that's when someone else was. But you don't have to be like look like you're in premier shape to be doing this. That's what.
And most elite 100-mile. Like, I want to look good myself.
Right.
Like, when I do this kind of stuff, but most elite 100-mile racers, I mean, they just run. So like, they do have a runner's build. Yeah. Like, they don't have much muscle.
Yeah.
They're just like, they call it like skinny fat.
Yeah.
Like a runner.
Essentially. Yeah.
It's not aesthetic.
Yeah. But, we were at mile 85, and I looked at him, and I was like, dude, this is your first 100-mile race. Like, you need to know what it feels like to cross the finish line.
Right.
And, like, he kept walking, but I think his thing, like, I believe I kept him going, like, the whole race, mentally.
Yeah.
Just because he had never been out there and done it before.
Yeah.
And I think whenever, this is also what sucked about calling it. Like, in the back of my head, I knew that, like, if I called it, like, I was going to affect him, and I didn't want to affect him. Mm-hmm. So whenever I called it, like, I felt really bad, and that's why I told him to keep going. Like, you got to finish it. Like, I want you to know what that feels like. But he kept walking, and like, it's night too, and he's by himself. So like, that sucks. Like, that's terrible. But he ended up calling it at like mile 86 or 87. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And had his family pick him up. But no, I got into the car at mile 85, and I passed out almost immediately. And we drove straight back to my girlfriend's apartment, which is like 3.5 hours.
So
Or
girlfriend
two
lives in
and a half.
Texas then?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because this was from right outside of Houston to right outside of Austin.
Gotcha.
It was like 2.5 hours. That's not bad. But we drove right back to her apartment. That's when the sun came back up. I got out. That's whenever they got that video of my brother like walking me inside. And then I went in, showered, whatever, ate, and then laid down. Sleep was terrible because you can't move. Like you get into bed and like you literally can't move your legs or anything.
Yeah.
It's like you can't roll over if you're uncomfortable or anything like that. So sleep is terrible. Like you don't get any REM, you don't get any deep.
No, yeah, it's just you're there.
Yeah, so that night kind of sucked. Woke up the next morning, like ate, stuff like that. Laid back down, tried to sleep again. And then I was there because the race was Saturday, I was there until Tuesday.
Yep.
I left, I think Tuesday or Wednesday morning. I can't remember. I left Tuesday morning. And the ride back home, the reason I went to the urgent care was because, like, after the race, like the next day after the race, after I got back home and went to sleep, which, I mean, it had done it after the 85 miles, but my calf and my ankle were, like, super swollen on my left leg. And, like, it was so stiff, like, I couldn't, like, bend my foot or anything. So, like, it was super hard to walk afterwards. And I started driving back home, and my mom called me, and I told her what it was like, and I guess she talked to somebody, and she was like, that might be a blood clot. You need to get it checked out. And I looked up, like, the symptoms of a blood clot, and it was like of course, I mean, they don't factor in yet somebody's running a 100-mile race. But, like, a swollen calf.
Yeah.
And like that type of shit, so I was like, oh, fuck.
Probably
Like
said it could be a sign of pregnancy too. Everything's like you're either pregnant or you got
That's what
COVID.
I'm saying,
Yeah, blood clot, pregnant or COVID. It's one of the three.
Yeah. So that freaked me out, and I was thinking back, I was like, dude, when would I have gotten a blood clot? 'Cause that's usually whenever like you sit still for like a long period of time.
Right,
but I was so delusional, I didn't remember that I got in the car and like sat in the car for 2.5 hours on my way back home. That's the only reason I ended up going to urgent care. And they looked at it and they're like, nah, it's not like discolored or anything. Like it shouldn't be a blood clot or anything. And
crazy.
But went home after that. Started running last week, and now we're back. Now at Bear Ranch in May.
Dude, you're insane.
Yeah, quickly to touch on, do you think the only difference of completing the first one to the second one was like even the atmosphere, or just not having a full training camp, or just not wanting to push, essentially because it wasn't smart to push through the whole 100?
Well, the difference between the first and the second one, I think I had enough training for this second one. If I'd have done it at the same pace as the first one, I'd have finished easy.
That's what I'm saying. So because you're
Yeah.
trying to prep yourself for like a long-term good ultra runner of getting that 24 hours is essentially why. It's like you've completed one, now you're just taking it to the next level of
Exactly, like pushing
doing this.
yourself.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, you've done it once at X amount of time. Now you're trying to do it at what you feel
Because
happy about.
I was trying to shave off 12 hours.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a huge, like, oh, we didn't complete it, like, whatever. But no, I mean, you're legitimately shaving off 12 hours.
Exactly.
So that's a huge
third of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge difference from.
My coach
A to
even
B.
told me too, like for 75 miles, I did carry that pace to do 22, 23 hours.
Right.
My coach was like, dude, that's a huge win.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Which most people wouldn't see it that way, yet that's the truth behind it, you know. You could have completed it if you were doing it at the other pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now what's cool is like doing that before Bear Ranch, it's almost like a training run in a way. Like
Right.
in a way.
Yeah.
Now I know that my body can carry me 75 miles at that pace. So now it's just
No, you're gonna have to keep that pace at Bear. Okay, that pace
The
is
same
basically-
pace.
Yeah, well, a little bit slower.
A little bit slower.
I took a lot of time at the aid stations at this one, and I had to move a lot faster on the trail. So I was moving like 9:30 minute pace on the trail and taking like 10 to 15 minutes at the aid stations, which is that's a huge mistake. Which I know now for future races is to take almost no time at the aid stations and take less time or go
More
slower
time
on the
running,
trail.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be
Keep your
conserving a
body
lot of
moving.
energy. Like
Yeah, less
instead
stress
of
on the body also.
instead of taking some time
Consistency,
and then going out there and like fucking pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Every time you go out there. So that's a lesson learned. But For Bear Ranch, I mean, it'll be a lot better.
Sweet.
I'll be able to go a lot slower on the
I'm
trail.
excited.
Yeah.
Me too.
Everything's been great.
Yeah. And I was really impressed by y'all's like the documentary type.
Yeah,
It was
for like
fun.
the first time running that was good too.
Yeah.
He did
and
well with the videoing and editing.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
But I get to not what documenting that, mile 80. That's probably the last thing you're thinking about when you're hunched over your sticks.
Yeah, I was
is,
talking to your brother about
let
it. He's
me
like,
get a
dude,
clip.
I feel like an ass when I'm like trying to. He's like in pain and like laying there and like, let me get a video of this.
Answer these questions real quick.
He's like, how you feeling right now?
God,
like,
you got to.
I'm like,
yeah.
dude, you low-key should. Like,
Yeah,
Bro,
you
it's
got
for
to.
it's
the
great
brand.
content.
Yeah.
That's the shit we'll remember forever.
Yeah.
Or at least remember for the first time because you don't remember it when you go.
Yeah, exactly.
And the GoPro would be
So-
sick too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have got more GoPro film.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
There's plenty more to come. So,
Sick.
but I'd say we go hit the
weights.
get a pump in.
It's time.
Late night pump.
Yeah.
If you guys still listen, appreciate you guys coming through.
What do you mean by that?
What?
Late night pump.
I mean, late night hard
Yeah.
pump.
Yeah. Get the blood.
Dude, I was trying to
Flowing.
close this shit out, and you guys just interrupt me for some gay shit.
You're the one saying such stuff, bro.
I mean, like, anyway, appreciate you guys still watching.
Yeah.
Sub, we're going to try to get 200 subs. That's our next goal for the podcast. Everything's been going great. Thanks for watching.
Lock in.
Support.
Yeah.
Lock in, cock in. We about to go get hard at the gym.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody, appreciate you guys. Adios.
Peace.